Hi, my name's Noshad. To call this round two, I'm just breaking it up. Me and Ellie had to try and break up the videos into small parts, so yeah, I'm trying to do that. So let's talk about the transfer window. And the names are out. Not for Mauricio, but for Levy, because, oh, that damn Levy, he hasn't signed this guy, he hasn't signed that guy. Clearly, we need to strengthen them, but, what we saw last season was we have a very good first team. Probably the second or third best team, first team in the Premier League. What we don't have is sufficient depth if when in our case more suspensions than actual injuries. Suspensions are probably, I don't know, is it a good or a bad thing for a player to be out for 3 games, be suspended rather or to be injured, I guess. I'd rather have players suspended than injured, I guess. But I don't want us to be a dirty team, but I'd rather be the one bashing the other team than getting bashed ourselves. Sorry. But without Dembele, we struggled. Without Ali, we struggled. Without Kane, we definitely would have struggled. Without Toby, we would have struggled. Without Hugo, we would have struggled. Each player is integral. So we saw how Kurt Wimmer was able to step up to the bell and ring it. I thought he was very unlucky not to play against Man United. But Jan's got a great experience. I can see why he chose Jan. But for me, I thought Wimmer was very unlucky, really. We've seen Ben Davies have some fantastic Euros playing at centre half. Well, as one of the three centre half, which I think has shown that he is more of a defensive fullback than an attacking fullback. He won't be getting wide. So if Danny Rose is injured and it's going to be Danny Rose, it'll be Ben Davies. We need to have more options on the left hand side just to make us a bit more balanced. It's not just a case of just hitting through the middle. Sometimes you have to hit through the middle, you have to go for the left, or the right, over, under. You just have to mix up your attack. We don't want to throw the baby out of the bathwater. I mean, I love Sir Stafford Blaw's writing, but he was very critical of Sonny. I didn't see the Newcastle game. I saw bits of it, and it was just so depressing. I didn't even watch the highlights because obviously it wasn't because we lost 5-1. It was the fact that we them managed to get above us again somehow. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't know any team that Newcastle did the double over. It's ironic that we could have even won the title or something, in the Champions League, and yet somehow they did that. But then again, it's not unusual. I mean, Wolves did that to us. I think Stoke. No, I think Wolves did that to us in the year we got the Champions League. We somehow managed to beat us home and away. I think they got relegated as well, but somehow we still. I'm not sure they did or not, but I remember we were able to stay up. We were able to. Maybe they still stayed up, but they were very fine for the relegation. And somehow we're in the Champions League, so every team has a bogey team. Every team just doesn't meet up to expectations. Wanyama's come in. He's someone Pochettino knows. More importantly, he's played with Toby, so Toby kind of knows how he works. So those two know to play together. So there's a bit of continuity there. Dembele's going to be out, so really we're going to have. People said like, why wasn't I wasn't anti Wanyama. I just thought him as a Wolves Palacios Marto, very physically strong, tough tackler, as a real wall of a player. But with the ball, is he going to be as daring? Probably not. He'll keep it simple, but sometimes keeping it simple isn't the worst thing. We saw Ericsson who would drop deep to pick up the ball, and they made the pitch really big just by the way that they played. They'd compact two deep lines of four, and then suddenly you have Dele Alli breaking, or you have Carl Walker breaking. Definitely, I think one of the things we need to address is that we do need reinforcements for Harry Kane. Sonny's a good player, but he's not a striker. Nath Chadley has the physical attributes. He's a big, strong guy, but in terms of knowing instinctively where to go, where to make his runs, he hasn't got that. He's just not a striker. And I think personally, this will be his last season for us, really, which is a shame, really, because who doesn't saying ooh, Nasa Chadley, but and I'm sure a lot of ladies will be very sad to see him go. I mean, look at him. The man's handsome, very, very handsome man. Obviously, we would have liked Mishi, but chances are I think he's going to Chelsea, and I don't know how that thing's going down. They can offer more money, and I think Chelsea, Man U, Man City, you're more likely to expect them to win the Champions League than we are. Same for Liverpool. I mean, Sadio Mane's gone there. He's gone for 34 million. He's a good player. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a very good player, but that's a lot of money. But TV deal, he's Premier League experienced. You're gonna, he's been in the Premier League what 2 seasons. He knows it. You know, so there is, it is going to be difficult. Obviously, we've got the Mitchell black box. We've got the guy from Leicester we managed to steal. So, he's on the fan, Mahrez and Kante. So there is value in the transfer market, but it's just finding it. Obviously, we've been linked with Janssen. Apparently, there's a problem about the money. Is it too much? Is it installments? And then it's not like Championship Manager or Football Manager. It doesn't like you buy it and that's it. There's a lot that goes on. There's agents, there's this, there's that, there's tons of stuff. And if you're a selling player, you've got a very good asset, and you're going to lose him. You're going to try and get as much money as you can for him. Obviously we're a bit pissed because we want to sign him, but I will say this. Remember, I don't know if you remember Winston Bogard. Now he was, a player that was on a very good salary, and he just didn't want to leave. And they was like, "Oh, you mercenary! You ain't good enough. We're going to get rid of you anyway." I was like, no one offered him. No one made him take that money. No one made Chelsea say, "Look, offer this guy this much money," but you did. He has a contract and he can honour it. We have a go at players for honouring their contracts. Well, then when they go on to pastures new, but then if they honour their contracts and if they expect their club to honour their contract, if they're not as good as they were hoped for, that you greedy mercenary. I think it's a lot of bullshit. But then in the world, it's full of bullshit, really, isn't it? For me personally, I would love to see, I've never seen Janssen play. I've never seen this. I mean, this Milik guy, from what I saw, he looked pretty decent. Obviously Lewandowski's their star, but I think if we go to like a 4-1-3-2 or 4-4-2, which I very much doubt because we haven't got traditional wingers, but a 4-1-3-2 or something, playing two up front, then you know what, it could work. I mean, Harry likes to cut in from the right. Milik and Janssen like to cut in from the left. Sorry, Milik and Janssen like to cut in from the right. Going to their left foot. I would have liked to sign Mishi because that way you can have that, play if you need to go for broke, go 4-3-3, go three strikers. But someone like Mishi is very expensive. I mean, still almost at Lacazette, a guy called Mello, he's been trumpeting Lacazette's cause. I'm not saying Lacazette isn't a good player, but he's hot and cold. Everyone wanted him a year before last, but he was too expensive this season, not so good. Chances are we could even go for Saido Berahino. I mean, why wouldn't we go for Saido? I mean, he knows the Premier League, he knows Harry Kane, and, if he's available, for 10, 12, 14 million? I mean, I don't know how much we got Wanyama for. I think it was 13, 12 million or something. So I think Southampton paid, 13 million for him. So we've got a player that's now 2 years in the Premier League for less than Southampton paid for him because of, obviously, he was in the last year of his contract. It gives us more bargaining power. We are building a new stadium. I've walked past it loads of times because I actually still live in Tottenham. I still live, 2-3 miles away from the ground. We have to be very sensible. I mean, like Arsenal had to do that. They weren't able to buy all the best players, and Man City came along, started dropping money like no one's business, and you had guys like, I remember like guys like Gael Peach saying, "The reason you got to Man City is for the money." And where's he playing now anyway? Just saying, you guys Ashley Cole when they're going to Chelsea. Ashley Cole's a great player, and if he feels like he's warranted this much money, then why wouldn't he deserve it? And from what you see, God knows how many people that have played Ashley Cole to look, he is probably one of the best left back they've ever played with. So he's clearly that good. Me personally, I would like to see us sign, I think Janssen will be a good signing. Powerful, strong, can lead the line by himself, but can play the two. I would like to see him sign Witsel, but I think his age. Mate of mine, Sharky, Belgian Hotspur on Twitter, Belgian Hotspur, check him out. He thinks that Dembele and Witsel don't play that well together. I don't know how true that is. I don't see enough of Belgium to comment. But really, you want someone, what they've said is, sorry, that's my stomach rumbling. I'm hungry. What you want is a player that can play with Dembele, but play instead of Dembele as well. if need be. I think Wanyama does fit the bill. He's he's going to be a lot more strong, physically strong, put his foot in. And I think we've seen Eric Dyer. He's definitely evolved. I mean, this guy was putting in some decent passes. Some as befits a player that played in Portugal and knows how to play with the ball. We bought a Paul. One of the things that we like about our centre halves is they are ball playing centre halves. Well, Eric Dyer, is a ball playing centre half, and guess what? We're going to use him if he's in midfield. Gives him more license to play those balls. We need a bit of pace. Eric Lamela, Ericsson, they're quick in the head, but they don't have the searing pace of, say, a Gareth Bale, well, who does. Aaron Lennon, great as he was, in terms of pace and everything, wasn't the best with the ball and his crossing and stuff. They didn't really fit the model we wanted. So maybe we might go for Berahino, So I don't think all is lost. I say to all those Spurs fans, just trust in the manager, trust in the chairman. I mean, basically, apart from Leicester, obviously that in itself, they themselves, they, broke a few rules to get promoted. They, we've actually basically have punched well above our weight, and we've been there, and we've been there on merit, not once but twice. Hopefully, we can sustain it. We've got a team. I mean, if you look at, say, a guy called Raj Bain said, and he said, look, for us to do well, to get in the top four, a lot of things have to go right for us, and a lot of things have to go wrong for other clubs. Well, we've seen a lot of things have gone wrong for other clubs, and they tried to correct it. Chelsea brought in Conte, Man City brought in Guardiola. Obviously, Guardiola's now brought in, Gundogan. Man United are going to be bringing in, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan. But, just because you put, you throw money at the problem doesn't mean it's going to work. Di Maria, who I think is one of the finest, an excellent player, one of the finest players I've seen play. He didn't really work out for him, Man United. He caught in the pressure, the price tag, whatever. It just didn't work out for him, and he was sold within the season. I don't think the same height to Mkhitaryan. They play slightly different roles. Mkhitaryan has to play more in the hole, but you got to understand that at Borussia Dortmund, it was set up perfectly for him. He had Royce, he had Aubameyang, he had Weigl, he had Gundogan. He had Hummels. Everything was set up perfectly for him to be the way he wanted it to be. Now, if you take a player out of that environment, does he flourish as well? Well, Kagawa didn't. Kagawa was an excellent player. I saw him play for Dortmund. I thought he was a superb player. I thought, man, you've got a good player here. Which didn't work out. So, obviously, it didn't help that he wasn't that manager signing. Obviously, Mkhitaryan's been signed by Jose. Zlatan, if he does sign, will be signed by Jose. But ultimately, sometimes managers, signings don't work out. I mean, look at Depay. We all wanted Depay. Thought, we really want Depay. Saw him 2014 World Cup. Had a brilliant, 2 years. He hasn't really lifted any trees up, has he, at Man United? Not really. For me, their best players have been the ones that have come through the academy ranks. Maybe Daley Blind. I would say Danny Blind, that's his dad. Yeah, but there haven't really been any real standout signings. You think, shit. Martial, that's a standout signing, but you cost 60 odd million. You've got to hope that whoever's sanctioned that purchase is probably hoping and praying that's gone well. So yeah. So I will let my stomach rumble and no more. You probably hear enough. If my stomach said, "Look, I'm tired of hearing you," I'm rumbling. You probably hear my stomach rumbling. You're probably tired of hearing me rumble on. So yeah. Hope you enjoy this, and as always, come on you Spurs.